Happy Sunday, Floorheads. How are we doing? We are back for episode 10 of Mothership. We were joking before we started, like, hey, Craig, remember we said we'd just do a quick one shot of Mothership?
Well, luckily we're all gonna die this one.
I'm picking up my stream on somebody's mic. So yeah, but we're having too much fun, right? So let's keep on playing. So this is going to shock you. We left on a cliffhanger. Actually, it's kind of a double cliffhanger. So let's get playing. As usual, the episode starts dark, and we fade into the interior of an elevator. There we see Frankie realizing that the huge amount of weight just landed on top of the door he was trying to open in the elevator that is stuck. Both Major and Frankie are in this little elevator. They've heard something drop on top of it. And what they hear next is radio chatter. Yeah, Defiance, we are headed towards the target.
Wait, what? Do we hear it all on just on the radio?
No, you hear it like muffled, but from coming from above you.
Frankie, did you hear that as well?
I acknowledge, and I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Sarge, someone's in the elevator.
Well, shit, what if they are the face thing he's faking that they are?
I need 2 speed rolls.
Fuck. Too much panic.
Jeez, look at Frankie on point.
Yeah.
All right, so Frankie, you get to go first.
How is it? I get stressed if I fail. I don't remember.
No, because this is not a safe.
Okay. Oh, on the safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not expect radio chatter. I was expecting to blow up monsters. I'm
glad I lost the speed test.
I'm hating that I lost. That I won it.
And you just wait.
Yeah. Is this an active combat, or is this?
This is your action, and then some other group is going to act, and then the Major can go last. So for those of you watching, initiative is super easy in the new Mothership. All the players rolled speed tests that are involved, and if they pass their speed test, they get to go before any NPCs and threats, and if they fail, they go after.
Yeah, Frankie, hearing that radio chatter, is not going to hold his gun down, but he's going to continue looking up, and he's going to yell, "We are not hostile. We're just trying to survive. Identify yourself."
All you hear is expletives. Son of a bitch. Now they are going to be rolling at a disadvantage because you're considered to be in heavy cover because of the top of the elevator.
Wait, what now?
All right, so they made it though. I need 12 damage to Frankie. You get a body save first though.
Body save.
Is there a save after all?
Yeah.
So it goes to okay.
Yeah, no, I figured out it was success. So bullets start coming from the ceiling, and Frankie, you're just like throw yourself up against the edge of the thing, and bullets are filling the elevator. Second one is going to shoot.
Oh fuck! There's 2 of them.
All right, let's see. At a disadvantage, so this fails. So again, now you recognize a second gun going off, shooting down, does not hit you. Third one. Also at a disadvantage because of the top of the elevator. Did it roll?
I didn't see anything.
Like no.
Let's see. Try it again.
Yeah, it's a failure for Craig. I see it.
Oh, good. All right, it's not rolling for me for some reason. And I'm not sure why. Let's try it this way.
Fine.
There we go.
Ooh.
Okay, so again, 64. So bullets are flying, Major. You're being shot at.
So that was the third and last one, right?
It is now your action.
Ah, okay. Shit. Okay, fuck it. I'm Major is going to the side of the elevator, trying to pinpoint what is the best position where the other side is not spraying the bullets out, and I will return fire.
So you can tell, Major, that you definitely picked up 3 different guns, right? You also can tell that they're aiming towards the center. So looking at where the bullet holes are in the ceiling, you can tell they're focused on the center. So you and Frankie being on the edges is a smart move, and the reason why the 2 of you did not get hit.
And it's a spray and pray.
Yep, and it will be at a disadvantage because they've got cover as well.
Yeah, we used the close quarters combat for that. I don't remember.
Just go to your gun. Oh, close quarters? No. That'll work with your vibe chatting. Yeah, you can use the military training.
And combat and disadvantage. Oh, right. I didn't roll it through the gun. Yeah. Okay.
That's okay. You rolled a 94 and a 4 at a disadvantage. We're going to count the 94. So the way cover works is you either at the lower covers give you an AP, higher, basically higher armor. And then with the highest level of cover, which is what we have here, you get the person firing has to roll at a disadvantage. You roll twice, you take the worst. We're going to go back to the top of the order to Frankie, but then we cut to another elevator shaft where we see hands coming through. This is on the same level that Arlo and Watts are on. We saw fingers come through and pry open at the end of last episode, pry open the door to the elevator. And as it pries open, we see a woman in probably her late 40s, early 50s. She's got kind of a dirty brown, short brown hair. She's wearing a white, like lab coat robe, and we see her reach and start to pull herself up onto the floor. Watts, you and Arlo see this on the cameras.
How many rooms away is this?
It's just one door and down the hall.
Can I activate the locks on the door since I restored the security panel?
Give me a quick computer check. I like that.
Look at my skills. Computer.
Hey, Santrix, thanks for the gift sub.
Boom.
Oh, nice. So you type, clank. So the door between where you are and where this woman is now locked. As you watch on the camera, you can see her pulling herself up, and you see her torso come up, this white lab coat. You catch a glimpse of the emblem of our moops, our religious cult. But she appears to only have one leg.
Oh, she's injured.
She pulls herself up. She rolls over on her back, just taking a moment from obvious exhaustion. You can't hear anything, but when she rolls over, you can see that her left leg, the pants have been tied in a knot, and there appears to be maybe some sort of belt or something, some sort of tourniquet around the leg itself. But this is under the clothing, and you can see that the pant leg is just soaked with blood. What's Arlo
check
doing?
on her?
He's just frozen watching this camera, like doubting everything that he's ever seen, wondering what sort of horror is in front of him. Yeah, he has no idea if this is person or monster, and he's just staring.
Okay. So what were you going to say, DZ?
Oh, I was saying, should we go check on her to make sure she's okay? But no, we shouldn't do that.
Do you say all of that out loud?
Probably not. I don't think Watts is that sarcastic.
The doubt
That's a
drive is
first.
working today.
Yeah. But I am starting to question. I get there's no PA system here, right? Or is
Correct.
it just not? Okay. Well, can I open another door in that room leading in another direction, maybe?
For the elevator shaft, like the kind of the elevator, the room where she's in,
Like
where
if-
the elevator.
Yeah, they're like, is there another door that I could open?
There isn't. No, there's just the
Okay.
one door headed towards your main area there.
All right.
You remember from last episode, both Arlo and Watts are kind of in the control center on level D. And they found out that level E apparently has a large nuclear core that they were just debating, dropping to the center of the planet. Frankie, what are you doing? We smash cut to you. You saw Major just unload into the ceiling.
Is it feasible to reach my SMG through that hatch, push it up, and blind fire up above into the? I don't know how tall this elevator, where this hatch is.
It'll be a little tough, right? Because I figure the elevator is probably at least like 8 foot tall. So outstretched, I mean, you'd be able to lift it up, right? So I can imagine you lifting the hatch up if you did, but I don't know about sticking the gun out and having any type of. So I think it'd be tough. You can try it though.
Yeah, I'm going to try it, even if it just means having one hand up and just trying to blind fire and the best I can.
Yeah, and we'll do this as one of your actions. The gun comes up, you hit the thing, and whatever is stepping on it is still standing on it. So with one hand, you're not able to open that up.
All right, so I'm gonna fire right up on that, knowing that there's something heavy on that door.
Perfect. Let's go. Roll disadvantage.
Oh yeah, right in the nuts.
Very nice. All right, they get a body save. Let me see if I can get this to pop out correctly now. And let's let them do a body save. So you start firing, bullets going up. Don't get a sense that anybody's hit. You don't hear any reaction out of there. Pull back, hit the deck. They're going to open up on you kids. First shot. That is going to be a fail. Second shot. Also a fail. Oh God, terrible fail.
Jesus.
All right, third shot. You guys are just blindly firing. There is just noise and just bullets going, and nobody is hitting anybody. Major?
Okay, so I imagine Major would try to look around, try to find a way. Is there any way out of this elevator, either other than the hatch that is there?
So you have
try open the.
Yeah, you have the main door, right? That would have taken you out, but you know you're trapped between floors. And if you remember, the distance between floors was stories distance. So in theory, you could try to open that door, but you already know that it's going to just open right up into the shaft itself. And it won't be the side that has the ladder. So there is space, right? So you could open it up, and there will be space between the elevator and the walls, because you guys went up and down these things using the service ladders. But the service ladders are not on the side; they're on the opposite side from the elevator doors.
From when I was climbing it, would there be a way to reach, like, I don't know, shimmy on the outside of the shaft to get to the ladder?
So you'd be able to open it, right? And then you could potentially, latch yourself and grab onto the top of the elevator from the outside and pull yourself up. And just have your head right there staring at him.
You don't have a grenade left, do you?
Oof.
Yeah, that's what
high
I
we
think.
are.
I'm gonna try to open the door. Pry open the door.
That's
Craig-
fine. We don't need to
Craig-
check for that. Go ahead, Frankie.
Real quick, did you mention that on the radio chatter we heard the term defiance, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Didn't we find the orders and a name dropped of a one Roman Heckenberger?
Yes, you did.
We might be able to use that in our favor if we want to try to whittle our way out of here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was
No, you're good. You're good. So Major, you pry open. It'll take your turn, but you pry open and kind of jam open the elevator doors. We go back to the top, Frankie.
Oh, I am not a very intellectual person. This may not be the right person to do this.
Intellect is overrated.
So the doors are open and there's going to be a gap that we can.
Correct. There is a gap there. It's about 2.5 foot gap between where the elevator wall is and then where the shaft of the elevator is.
How far down is it to the lower level?
If you were to look, I can tell you. If you're going to stick your head out,
I'm gonna step over to that area and get a up and down on.
So you look and it's about 20 feet down. You can see it's about 20 feet down from where you went up. So you guys went up about 20 feet, which means in theory, you've got about another 15 feet to get to the next floor, which is where you were headed up to try to retrieve Dean.
All right. Now that we've got this shaft open, Frankie's gonna blurt out, ceasefire. Let me see Sergeant Roman Heckenberger immediately. Ceasefire, ceasefire.
There's like a weird silence. Who? How do you know my name? Reveal yourself.
We're in this open elevator. We can't reveal ourselves. We're here. You have to reveal yourself.
Stick your head out.
Poke it out.
So you poke it out and you are looking at the barrel of a gun. How do you know me?
I knew I shouldn't have done this.
I'm your brother's cousin's
Shut up,
nephew's
DZ. You're not
former-
here. Shut your yapper.
Frankie's just gonna. It doesn't matter how I know you. We are not hostile against you. You started firing on us. We mean no harm. We are just trying to survive.
Hand
There
up
are
your
monsters.
guns.
I will holster my gun, and that'll be it. We will holster our guns, and we will show no aggression.
So this is not Sergeant Roman that's saying this, but you can tell it's coming from up there. It goes, Defiance. We've got potential hostiles. They claim to know. They claim to know the Sarge. And you can't hear the other side of this conversation. Maybe they have earpieces or something, but you can't hear what any of the responses are. I'm giving you 3 seconds.
I put the gun down. I put it. It's holstered around or slung around my shoulder, and I just put it down. I put both hands up. We mean no harm.
Hand up the guns. We cut to Watson Arlo. The woman is now leaning up against the wall. You can't really see her anymore, but you see the stump and the one leg at kind of at the very edge of the camera. But you know enough about what that room looked like to know that she's leaning up against the wall.
I'm tapping on the screen, squinting, trying to get a better look.
Enhance.
Right. I can't help but say out loud, like, look, if we're helping the kid, she seems like a person, right?
I'm losing confidence that she's a hostile entity right now, but I'd like to observe her a little bit longer before we let our guard down.
Can we go up to that door that you locked? Maybe talk to her through it?
Yeah. Do
Okay.
it.
So I do that. I get up, I walk up to the door, and I start knocking on it.
I'm going to keep observing her on the camera while you do that so that I can
So-
tell you to back off.
Yeah, so Arlo, Watts, you hear Arlo obviously knocking as you're watching the screen, and you can see her react, and she seems to trying to be like slide herself, still kind of exhausted, but slide herself farther away from the door. But she's not responding to it, other than just trying to get farther away from the door when she hears the knocking.
Perhaps some kind of human interaction.
Ma'am?
Who are you?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Are you all right in there?
Yeah. They're everywhere down there. They're everywhere down there. We've got to get everybody to safety. They're just pouring out of it.
Down there. And I say that soft enough to try to keep it away from her.
No problem. Yeah. You have to
So-
like yell Arlo in order to get
Okay.
through the door.
Presumably level 5 or level E. That's not a good sign for the dropping the core plan.
So that's where you come from?
I climbed up. I found the shaft and I climbed up the ladder, and yeah. Like, wait, what section are you? Are you
The
research?
In a way.
So I'm First Class Jones. Researcher, soil. Who are you?
Oh,
My eyes go wide.
love interest for Arlo.
I'm Mr. Waits. I am a scientist from the Providence.
The what?
I just stumble on my words. Like she's a soil scientist. I just lost my mind.
I'll unlock the door at this point.
Okay, we hear the clink, and Arlo, you're like, whoa! You can hear the door unlocked. We cut to Frankie. 2.
Craig, on a GM level, the pulse rifle that I blew the welded shaft with, do I have that in the elevator with me still?
Sure.
I say, fine. I look over at Major, and I kind of give him the universal sign to hide your fucking gun. I grab the pulse rifle and my SMG, and I hold them out. So there's 2 guns with me, with the intent of Major hiding his gun in his vibra-shetty or
Yeah,
whatever.
I follow suit.
So you make it look like you're pulling the second gun out and giving the impression that, okay. So you put both guns. He goes, Private, get the guns. And you see hands come over. You don't see who they are. You see the hands come over and they grab both of them and they pull them up, assuming you don't resist.
I don't resist, no.
And that's it? No other arms.
That's it. We're just trying to survive. Come
Who's
on
in
down.
there with you? We heard 2 guns.
Yeah, I'm Major Hezekiah Farrell, and I was the security of the ship Providence. And we're now here in this mess, and we're trying to help our friend, the kid upstairs, to get him back to safety. That's why we're on our way up.
The ship Providence. So you guys weren't stationed here?
No, we
Do you-
arrived here. Yeah.
Do you know what's going on?
We know that there are a lot of alien forms here. We fought like 3 of them. There are some strange time dilation things. I have no idea what's happening, but if something is not trying to kill us, there is some illusion, and we can't get our head around this. And we really don't want to shoot another potential friendlies that could help us to get out of this mess.
So Sarge turns and you can hear him, Frankie. I don't know if the Major can hear him, but Frankie can hear him going, look, I think they broke. They're not making any sense. All right. We're going to turn the elevator back on. We're going to stop. We're going to get off. And then I want you to slowly bring the elevator back up. Do you understand?
Understood.
Affirmative.
So you hear kind of a click, click, and suddenly the lights of the elevator come back on. And you're not touching anything, and the elevator starts to slowly, at about half speed, continue headed back up. Arlo, the door unlocks.
Is Watts in? Can I see Watts right now?
You can. Yeah, in
Okay.
my mind, you're at the door, Arlo. Watts is still at the control center behind you.
Okay. My eyes are on Watts, still eyes wide. Like, I've never been in this situation. You're gonna tell me what to do without telling me what to do. Give me some visual cues. And my hand is on the stun baton. I'm both excited and terrified.
Go talk to her.
You just say that out loud. I ask you for visual cues, and you're like, just relax. Okay.
She seems nice.
There's totally gonna be a Watts Arlo spin-off series.
I'd watch it for sure.
She's only got one leg. If she makes any hostile move, run back into the room and I'll relock the door. Nail her to the floor with your nail gun.
All right. So the door opens. I finally turn to her. Ma'am, are you the only one that survived down there?
I think so, but what like what I don't I'm unarmed and I'm not a threat.
Great. And I start walking by her, and I say great. I see the open elevator, and I think about all that, the horde of things that she just described, and I try to push it back together.
So because of what Watts has done, you can just hit the button.
Oh, well, I'm still doing that. I'm not.
Okay. So it's resisting. Watch, you see Arlo trying
Try
to
hitting
close
the
the door.
button.
Ma'am,
Hit the
can you
button.
tell me anything about what happened down there?
So they were building the statues and the mounds and I helped all of us and things started coming out of it on level C. So we came down to level E and there was mounds there. I don't know who built them, and we someone had started digging the core, like there's a hole under the core, but like that would take months to dig, and none of this is making any sense. So we're there, and then there's a mound, and oh my god, and she's like barely coherent. Her eyes are closed as she's talking to you. She's just visibly shaken.
I turn to Watts and I mouth, "She was building the mounds," and I have no idea if he could understand that because that's a lot of words. But
I heard that too.
Yeah, the door's
that's
open, so
also
I assume Watts heard
point
it as
of
well.
concern for me, but let her get out everything that she's willing to say.
So what are we doing, Watts and Arlo?
Listening to her nonsense to glean as much as we can about the situation.
Is it safe? And she's pointing to the door you came through, Arlo.
And I do that for an exaggerated length of time. Probably a little safer than down there from the sounds of it, but is anywhere safe here? Am I right?
Can you? Oh my God. Can you help me? You're on mute, DC. Can you help
It's
me?
perfectly safe. Calm down.
Can we go in there and close the door? Can you help me up?
I freeze. Like, wait, you want? Like, you're covered in
Why don't
blood,
we-
lady. Like,
Why don't we stay in there for the moment?
that sounds like a good idea.
Well,
It's just as safe in there.
what? We cut to Frankie. You've handed them your
After
guns.
this.
They say like, last thing you hear is a sir. They sound like they're broken. They're not making any sense.
Okay, Major will try to hide his gun in the elevator cabin? I don't know if that makes any sense.
I mean, you
Would
can
there
keep
be
it
a
out of view,
spot-
but there's no like compartments or anything.
And okay, yeah, I just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might keep it on my back still, or
Okay.
like if I'm about to go outside next to them, I keep it in the elevator cabin, like
Okay.
behind the corner or something.
Yeah. And Frankie will kind of be meat shield right in front to kind of keep visual whenever, because we're heading up, right? I need to hit the button
Correct.
to go up to that next
Well, no,
floor.
so you realize if you try to hit the buttons, you have no control over the elevator, right? So they've somehow have blocked or deactivated or whatever. And the elevator is slowly going up, so you're just seeing the concrete of the shaft moving as you go up. It stops.
Mhm.
You can hear the door above you opening, and if you look, you can see 3 of them jump across the small gap onto the floor. This is the floor where Dean was left.
Gotcha.
This is C, right? We're gonna bring you up. We want hands in the air.
Yeah, I guess we're with Frankie next to each other, one another in the door frame, like this.
Yeah. Do we remember who has that the orders that we got Roman's name from with the
I want to say who was going through the
Repairist.
bodies? Was it Frank? It was the major, I think, that went through the bodies. So
thought
let's
it
have
was
it on.
Frankie.
I was
picked
I
me.
was going through the bodies because I was
Okay.
looking for people that
Yeah,
look
I
like
think
me.
Frankie. Yeah.
All right, we'll have you have it, Frankie.
I'm gonna make sure that that's ready and accessible in a pocket if I need to grab for it.
Okay. Do you understand?
Understood.
So you hear the boop, and slowly you start to see that the floor and the elevator starts going up. You can see 3 sets of boots. As it go up, you see the uniforms of the Defiant, which you've only seen dead bodies of. All 3 of them have got SMGs. They're pointed at you. One of them, obviously, based off of the badges and some decoration on the front chest, is you would assume is this Sergeant Heckenberger.
Is he wearing a hat? Sorry.
He's standing there. He's standing there. What? Did you guys crash land here too? Wait a minute. And all guns point at you. Turn around, pointing at the major.
I turn it around.
He's armed.
I interject. I say, guys, can you prove you guys aren't these face monster things? Are you guys encountering the same monsters we did up on levels C and A?
Yeah, we've cleared 3 of them, but
We've
why would
killed
we
2
be
of them
them?
ourselves. They're very human-like.
What? Sir,
Yes.
I'm telling you, they're broken. Look at them.
No.
They're not making any sense.
Guys, I'm going to go for my shirt pocket. I have something that I want to show you, and I pull it out. So this is what we found. We're looking for people not turned into monsters.
So as that's happening, obviously guns very, very tense on you, Frankie. One of the guys, one of the privates or whatever, has got the gun still on the major, and he says, do not turn around and keep your hands up. If I see you go for that gun, you're dead. So Frankie, you pull out these orders.
And guys, I handed over to him. I said, we mean no harm to normal non-monsters, whatever.
So you put your arm out, handing the paper.
Hand the paper. Yeah.
Sarge, gun up, puts his hand out. He grabs the paper and rips it for it. And he goes, what does it say? And he hands it over to one of the other guys. He goes, sir, it's confirmation of orders for tomorrow. We cut to Arlo and Watts.
So you lost all your friends, and like it's clear that we've just been asking like the same questions.
I've told you everything.
How long have you been here?
I'm really hungry. Do you have any water? Do you have any food? How long have I been here? I've been here since the beginning. With 2 some odd years now.
Beginning of this facility was 2 years ago?
Yeah, as soon as it was built, we came.
I'm
Do you have
shaking-
any water?
I do offer some water, but I'm shaking my head at Arlo over the 2 years comments.
So now so Watts, have you left the
I'm kind of
control room?
like I'm kind of like in the doorway.
Okay. And you're gonna pull some water out and hand it over.
Yeah, maybe I'll motion for Arlo to take it to her.
Yeah, I act as the mediator to pass it through. Yeah.
And I'm imagining this water is like a ration pack type water thing with a straw and stuff. And she takes it and she
Yeah.
looks at it and like she doesn't recognize it, but she knows what to do with it. And she pops the cap off, and you just see her squeezing the water into her mouth. Can we just get away from the shaft? Can you help me? And she's like trying to maneuver herself. She can't get up, but she's trying to get up on one knee and kind of like 3-legged crawl towards you, Watts.
That's far enough for now. I mean, I'm holding the flare gun at this time.
Oh my God. Just I'm gonna have to have her do a panic roll.
That always works.
Keep it together.
That helps. Ooh.
Don't panic.
So she's like, just if you're gonna shoot me, just and she collapses. She's just on her stomach.
Is she unconscious or she's just out of it?
She's face down on her belly.
I hesitantly kneel down and I reach for her shoulder. Ma'am?
No reaction.
I'm not sure what to think about this, but I don't want to give up our only secure location to someone or something that we haven't verified. But I will note that we haven't seen any of the face splitters acting like a person. They look like people, but they don't act like them as far as we can tell.
We also don't know if they change people or if they are mimicking us. Like,
That's also fair. Can you scan her vitals or anything?
oh yeah, look at me actually being useful. Yeah, so I'm going to use my med scanner.
Okay, so you pull out your med scanner, allows the user to scan a living or dead body and to analyze it for disease or abnormalities without having to do a biopsy. So I'm imagining we have to get relatively close. So she's there on her back. You pull out the med scanner. What's the med scanner look like?
I mean, it looks like it's come from Alien. You know, it's got a small screen and it beeps. You know?
Okay. So how are we doing this then?
So I'm using it with my left hand. I've got my other hand on her shoulder at this point. I'm like, ma'am, I'm gonna scan you. We're just gonna make sure that there's nothing else going on.
So you flip it on, the green screen comes on, and scanning and kind of that 1980s futuristic green font as it goes. Cutting back to Frankie and the Major. What do you mean orders for tomorrow? Yes, sir, it's orders from you saying that we're going to go to level E. You have to explain this, and you have to explain this right now. Sir, it's from your wrist printer. Guns are pointed.
We're not hostile. We can sit down and talk like gentlemen. We're not hostile.
So you see one of the privates put his head up to what is obviously an earpiece. And he says to the Sarge, Sarge, they secured the kid.
Did you say you have the kid?
What do you know
Is he
about the
okay?
kid?
The kid arrived with us, and we were clearing the way to get deeper into the facility, and we were trying to figure out what is going on here, and we were just returning for the kid. Is he okay, at least? Is he alive?
Yeah, he's alive. All right. We want you ahead of us. You can keep the gun on your back, but if we see you reaching for that, you're dead. We're going to take you to the
All right.
kid.
Affirmative.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but well.
Yeah.
So
What did
you-
we do to that kid before we left?
So they basically are indicating you guys need to walk down that hallway, right, to the lounge area that's outside of the barracks.
Yep.
So we see the two of you walking, hands are in the air. Major, you still have the SMG hanging off of your back. The three of them are behind you, headed that way. Arlo, you start to see the screen and it's got it loading. The bar goes across, slowly filling up 80%, 81%. And it flashes red. I need a speed test from Arlo and Watts.
I knew it.
She was so a scientist. How could she do that?
How could you do this to me?
Watts, what are you doing? You see the red
Um,
screen.
I'm going to the console and hovering my hand over the lock door button.
Okay, so Watts takes off, runs to the console. Arlo, you see the red screen, and the screen. I'm imagining you have your hand on her shoulder. The screen is like around her head, right? So this thing's gonna be big and bulky, like tricorder, like old tricorder size, and I think that's what prevents you from immediately recognizing it. But thankfully, you saw the red screen, and as you move the red screen, you see the back of her head start to split open. And she's going to try to take a bite of you, Arlo.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Oh,
is
man.
a success. I get a body save from you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Come on, you got that tomato body.
Indeed.
As the mouth opens up, she lunges to grab onto your arm and immediately takes it. Do you have any type of armor?
Let's see.
I think we all got that, the same one before.
We're all
we
wearing
left.
the standard
the
battle
standard
dress.
battle dress. Yeah.
Okay, and how much does that give you?
S- 7?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have that marked correctly?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have 7 as well.
So tendrils come out as the mouth opens. Tendrils come out. They wrap around your arm. They pull your arm into its mouth, and it closes on you. But the armor, will have like a metal like bracer as part of the armor that's built into the suit itself. It clangs on there. You feel the pressure on your arm. Your arm is trapped in this thing's back of head mouth thing, but it does not do any damage to you. It is your action, Arlo.
What?
Get through the door.
So with my other hand, I've dropped the med scanner. It pretty much as like an instinct to her biting me, and I'm reaching for my stun baton, and I'm poking her head with it.
Okay, go ahead and roll for advantage with your stun baton.
No one could possibly miss
That
at
not
this
work?
range.
Come on, you can do it.
So you should be able to go to weapons, the weapons
Yeah,
tab.
I'm clicking stun baton, going to advantage, disadvantage, click and roll. Nothing.
Do you have it popped out?
Yeah.
Okay, close it and just do it straight without popping it out. I'm noticing the rolls are struggling sometimes when it's using the pop out.
Oh,
So it brings up the advantage, disadvantage, and you hit click even when you're not popped out and not getting anything.
Yeah, I'm not popped out right now.
All right, I'm going to roll it for you if that's all right.
Yeah, please do.
tension.
It's in God's hands now.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Can you roll a D100 twice for me? What's your combat score?
34.
Okay, so roll it twice, and if either of them are below 34, you're good.
What is that again? It's /R.
You should be able to hit in the bottom far right on the tray. The D100s are the ones to the farthest right above the roll button.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And just type 2 instead of 1. There we go.
Well, that's gonna be
All right.
twice.
Yeah, a 65 and a 94 is what you rolled. And what's your combat?
34.
Okay. So you take the stun baton, you pull it out, and despite Watts saying that there's no way you could miss, you take the thing, you take the baton down, and it does hit, but the discharge just kind of, and you can tell that there's no reaction from the monster itself. Watts, hand hovering over the lock the door.
God's sake. Well, I guess I got my old rigging gun I can try.
You're going to hit my arm and sever it.
No, impale it at worst. But no, I don't want to have the actual like the cord going through the door. But I do have this revolver I picked up I can try.
Okay. You
I'll
pulling the
come-
revolver and running to the door?
Yeah, let's
You
do
think
it.
that's better to use the revolver?
Yeah. Because it's not going to
So,
block the door at least.
We see, Arlo, you're pulling, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Watts popping out the door, and he's got the gun out.
And I'm not holding it the way that like Major and Frankie hold their gun. I'm like, let's do it. It's good. It's a good thing.
Ma'am, please relax.
No way.
So you
Bit of
fire.
damage, but
You do 3 damage. So the revolver goes. You see the bullets. They
well,
get,
she has body save or no?
oh, she does get an instinct save. Which she fails horribly.
Good.
So you did a total of 3 damage.
That kills her, right?
You hear, yeah, sure. You hear the gun firing, Arlo, and you see the bullets as they kind of go into her side. So he didn't cross you with the firing, luckily. And you can now see just this thick, like greenish red, just goose start to come out, and you just it reacts and it opens up, and you're able to pull your arm back. Though these thin tendrils are still pulling at you, but you're out of the grasp of the beast itself.
Get in the other room. Hit the button.
So this thing is going to try to claw you, which it does. Arlo, I need you to roll a body save.
Whew.
So
We're on top of it.
Arlo, you pull your arm back up, right? The tendrils are on there, and you look and you can see her right arm coming up. But who knows last time you looked at her hand, but it is now just these long, sharp fingers, about twice the length of a human's fingers, coming right at you. You are going to not get hit by this, but I need to understand why.
As I'm stumbling back, I accidentally kick her hand as I'm on the ground.
So you pull back and you hear kind of a snapping sounds as some of these tendrils are breaking and they're kind of writhing around you as you kind of fall back, and the hand goes, and it just comes reaching for you and lands right at your, like right where you are between your legs, right? So I'm having you fall back on your butt, and the hand just barely misses you on the inside of your thigh.
Perfect.
We're going to go back to the top with Watts, but let's cut to Frankie and Farrell.
Well,
Open the door.
Open.
When you open it, on the far side, you see Dean still tied up the way you left him. He's been gagged, so he's got some sort of cloth or something that's gagging him. His eyes are wide, just full of fear. And holding on to each shoulder are 2 more guys in these Defiance uniforms.
What did you do to that poor kid? Could you release that? He's just a kid. Could you release him from this?
Sarge,
said the guy that tied him up.
who the hell are these? Who the hell are these? Feel the pressure of a barrel of a gun in your back, Frankie, kind of pushing you and the Major into the room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
we follow
step
the
in
barrel.
and Frankie, guys, gentlemen, this is excessive for you to do this to a kid, to gag him. He's scared.
Tie him up.
That's all he is. And he's scared. Let him go.
You hear the door behind you shut, and you hear a clank. And when you turn around, you can see that they've locked the door to the hallway.
So
And
we're in
this-
the hallway or in the barracks?
You're
by the
now
way?
in the barracks, right? Or not in
Okay.
the barracks. You're in the lounge area where the couch was, the infamous Arlo
Okay.
Watts tender
Infamous
moment
couch.
couch.
Yeah.
Go to the center of the room, and the two guys have now thrown Dean forward into the center of the room as well. Into the
Yeah,
center of the room.
Do I follow? Definitely to
Yeah.
catch up with Dean and try to.
Dean is on his side. He's now at your feet, Frankie, and just looking up at you, just wide-eyed.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him up, regardless of what these guys are saying, and try to take off that gag.
Throw us your gun, says to you, Farrell.
How many? So it's still just 3 of them, or is there like many
You got
more?
four soldiers and the major.
5 total.
Yeah, I throw them my gun. I put it on the ground and kick it their direction.
So you take it, you kick it to their direction, and they drop their guns. And you see the split start to happen on the major's face. Let's take a 10-minute break. We'll be right back.
Knew it.
So the way I'm imagining it is the Major, in a moment of like, I don't really have a choice. You kick that gun into the center. You see them throw Dean into the center, which is your first kind of like, huh? And then when they throw their weapons down is where I think you get that half second. And then when you see the split start to happen on the Sarge, all of you know, the both of you know exactly what's happening. I need 2 fear saves.
Glad I'm not there.
Damn,
Yeah.
you guys have been
On.
scoring it. Look at that.
On.
All right, let's do some speed checks.
With military, right? Speed.
So fail from Frankie, but a critical success from the Major. Oh, so not only a success, but a critical success. It is not covered in the rules, but we got to come up with something good. So from an initiative standpoint, Major, you are not just ahead of everybody. You're one step ahead of everybody. So Vaslav, what do you think we can make happen?
So Major did not roll fear. He's pissed that he got himself into this situation because he knows he can do better, and he's super like sharp senses. So I would imagine that he could like do immediate scan of the situation to do the assessment. Maybe is Dean splitting as well? Where is their position? And then he would proceed to do his attack action.
So here's what I'm
So-
thinking. You look down, you immediately a threat assessment, just as soon as you and I think you figure it out before Frankie does. I think you even figured out before the face starts to split, right? When you start to kick the gun, you see them relaxing and starting to drop their weapons. Maybe one of them did it ahead of you. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to have you crit by stepping on the strap of your gun before it reaches the center of the room.
That's what I was
Oh,
picturing.
Yeah.
Do you like that? So
you're good.
you kick and we see like in slow motion the guns start to slide towards the center of the room, and then we see a close-up of one of the soldiers that were holding Dean letting go of his gun and just slowly starting to drop out of his hand. We cut right back to your face, and we can see it, and then we see your foot stomp down, pull the strap back with your foot, slides right back into your hand. I'm going to let you attack.
Dang.
Even though you were unarmed a second ago. That'll be your crit success.
Should was he a major as well? There can be
So
only one
you've
major
got
then.
Yeah, you've got 3 behind you, a major and 2 soldiers, and you've got the 2 soldiers in front of you. You've got Frankie slightly in front of you, and at his feet is a tied up Dean.
Okay, I do the left one that's in front of me, and I shout to Frankie, just grenade. I would know that Frankie has grenades.
Oh, sure.
Just grenade the major and the guys behind me. I take care of those 2.
Roll
And
it.
I unleash a burst.
So you're going to shoot behind you at the Sarge and the other 2?
No, those I want to leave to Frankie with the grenade, and I will focus on one of those 2 that are in front of us.
Got it.
And roll it. I can't. Yeah, I should have +10 for the military training.
Yep,
which wouldn't help
it
anyhow.
put combat, and I give you the +10 mod, and that's a huge failure. Yep. So you unleash the bullets and you start firing at this thing, and unnaturally you see it, the one you fire at, drop down to all 4s, and not like drop to your knees like a person, like it drops down like a spider and lands on all 4s, and you see the 2 elbows and the knees reverse as that happens and bend the other way, and it's starting to just like scamper towards you. The 2 there are not going to be able to reach you. We need to deal with the 3 behind you, though. The first one is going to take a swipe at you, Major. It is going to succeed. I need a body save.
Big oof.
Which you fail. So it's going to hit you for 5, but your armor should stop that, right?
Yeah, armor point 7, so I should lower the armor.
No, it only is going to happen if
Get hit for
I
higher.
exceed it, right? So if I exceed it, the armor gets
So-
destroyed. but it does hit you. So you feel it up against your back, Major. As you're firing, you feel it hit your back. It kind of pushes you forward towards Frankie. You can tell like it hit you, it hurt, but not enough for it to do any mechanical damage to you. The next one screams. And I need a fear save from both Frankie and Major.
Why not Dean?
You're so funny, DC. All right. So, Major, I need you to up your stress by 1, and I need a panic roll. You should be able to just hit stress and roll it.
Yeah. Oh.
But it didn't. Oh, that's weird. It didn't roll it on the table. Okay. So 9, deflated. Gain a new condition. Whenever a nearby crew member fails to save, you gain 1 stress. So I'm going to quickly add. Actually, you should be able to do it. If you go to the items.
I'm in conditions, and which one was it?
It's deflated.
So I just.
You should be able to drag it right onto your sheet, and then it should show up there if you go back to the main tab. Third one is going to take a swipe at you as well. I need a body save.
Oh, man.
All right, I need you to 6 damage. So this again, the claw comes down, hits you again. You're just getting knocked by these beasts as they're just swiping at you and pulling back on you. The one just screams, which startles you. Maybe that gave you enough to kind of push back on it. Frankie, you're unarmed. Dean's at your feet.
Tell me if this is something that I can do. Can I help Dean get up to his feet and still chuck a grenade?
So there's no way you can get Dean to his feet because if you remember, he's kind of hog-tied, right? You could potentially get him up to his knees,
Gotcha.
but you've got his wrists are behind him, his feet are tied at the ankles, and then the ankles and the feet were tied together.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna toss a grenade out at the Heckenberger. Yeah.
If somebody has to die, it needs to be this guy.
Yeah. Can I use either explosives or military training for this?
You can use explosives.
Okay, explosives is a combat.
You had
Wow, that's a success for you?
70 success? Jeez. A combat mod 10, explosives 15. Oh, nice.
Oh, God, I'm trying to block him. How do I do that? Sorry, we got a spammer.
Right click his name on Streamlabs. You should be able to.
Yeah, hold on.
There's some interesting page he posted.
Yeah,
Maybe
hold
should
on.
check it out.
Yeah. Great idea. I'm going to clear the chat so we don't see it anymore. All right. Sorry about that, folks. All right. What did you roll? Oh, success with a 70. That's why you succeed on a 70. All right. Now it didn't do it off of the grenade though.
You are absolutely right.
That's okay. Just do me a favor. Do /roll space 1d5 wounds, or is it 1d5?
1d5. Yeah. Oh, it's wounds directly. Jesus.
/R for roll or just?
I think /R works or /roll works.
If you click on any, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So, Frankie, you reach into your belt. You pull out, and this is all in slow motion. Pull the pin. You throw it as you're seeing the major just getting hit and hit. And we see the grenade fly over the major, just past them, and it doesn't hit the ground. And it just boom. I am going to need a speed roll from a speed check from Major.
Any military training? I guess no.
Yeah, I can do military training.
Yeah, military speed.
It's a good success. So, Major, you see the grenade and immediately dive forward, and you're now sliding into Dean. as it goes, and it blows up. And Major, you don't see this because you're on your stomach at this point, but Frankie, you do. And the explosion comes through, and you see all three bodies just tear open and just explode. And they're just like held together by these fibrous tendrils as they just split apart and explode.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to take us downstairs. Watts has gone. We're back at the top. Or wait, no, Arlo went, right?
No, I shot with the revolver. That was and
Okay,
then
so
she tried to.
Yep, she is going to take another swipe at Arlo. So Arlo is just scooting back, and she's just, and you see her come up, and where the stump was, you now see like this tentacle has broken through the blood-soaked tide thing and is now providing her like second support off of that leg as she is just, but her head is down and it's opened up and just screaming at you.
I think Arlo turned into soil scientist now.
Yes.
So Arlo, you're on your butt. You're going back. The claws are king as it's just going, just moving towards you. I need a fear save.
Wonderful.
At disadvantage.
Oh yes, Mr. Watts.
I am shooting at them, so I can see it in this case.
Panic roll. Add 1 stress and do a panic roll, please. Okay, you also get the deflated condition. You can drag it over to your sheet. Whenever a nearby crew member fails a save, you gain 1 stress. Watts?
Should be Arlo's turn because he's after.
Oh, that's right. Arlo, sorry. It was fear save, and now it's your action, Arlo. Thanks, DZ.
I've got the stun baton in my hand. I'm gonna try to poke her again right in that mouth.
Get out of the room.
I'm on my
You
butt.
just-
I mean,
like Don Quixote with a lance, just like right into her mouth with the stun baton. Let's go ahead and roll the stun baton.
yeah, it's still not. Every other roll's working just fine for me, except
That's
for that
weird.
one.
Can you roll combat?
It's a sign.
All right, so that's good. And what does the stun baton do?
1d5 plus wounds damage.
Very nice. So let's do a slash roll 1d5, and you're going to do wounds damage.
1d5 wounds?
No, it does 1d5 damage plus a wound.
Oh, oof. Still pretty good.
Oh, nice.
It's the same. Yeah, the stun baton is the same as the vibe shetty.
All right, so give me just 1 second here.
Yeah, this wipe chat is 3d10.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, that's
So
right.
Arlo, this thing is just with its neck kind of broken down, and it's just clawing with its hind human leg, and this tentacle just dragging towards you, and it almost lunges itself into your stun baton as much as you stab it towards it. And as it goes in, you hear just the soft tissue that it presses into, but we see just like as the stun baton activates, and it lights up the entire inside of its mouth, and it hurls itself backwards up onto kind of its hind areas. You can see what was the back of this woman with her bang. You've got her arms, broken elbows at you. The mouth is open up, and it's just blood gushing out. Back to the top of the order, Watts.
Stun baton also says body save or stun for 1 round,
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
assuming they have a physiology that makes sense for that.
And it fails. So it's up there going, just standing there. So you guys are each going to get to go. So we'll
I'm
go
going
right
to
from
return
Watts
to
to
the-
Arlo.
I'm returning to the console and hovering my hand over the button. Arlo, please join me in this room.
At this point, I book it. Yes.
Okay.
I stand up and I start running towards the door.
So as you
Thank
run
you.
and as you just are coming through at Arlo, we see Watts hits the button and the door closes. And as you're doing that, you're seeing this beast just kind of, and the door shuts. We
Well,
cut
that's
back
one
up to
less mystery.
upstairs. Frankie has gone. I forgot what the order was. Frankie, you failed. So we go back to the top to the major, right? Yep.
Right.
So major,
think so.
you're on your stomach. You've got your gun. You're hey McBluff, you're staring at the face of Dean, who's just he's not even making any noises at this point. You know what happened behind you. You can feel some of the gore on the back of your head that splattered on you.
Using my Trail of Gore bonus action. Sorry. I will try to send the. Okay, maybe it's too many actions. I'm thinking like to send the gun to the direction of Frankie and just pull out my wipe chatty to fight the closest guy.
So yeah, we can do that for your actions. So if you want to throw the gun to Frankie, as well as pull out your gun, that'll be your turn.
Okay.
Yep, that takes care of it, Frankie. I want a. Let me do it. Let's see. What do we like better, a speed check or a combat check for you to catch that? I think combat. I think I want a combat check, and you can take all your bonuses.
All right. Probably just close quarters because it's non.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But you also get the bonus from the major on a combat check.
Yeah. Perfect. I think. No, just kidding.
So epic John Wick throws his SMG towards you, Frankie. You're just down like pitcher style, finish throwing it, and the gun's coming at you. How do you not catch it?
I'm imagining Paul Blart Mall Cop, like trying to be official, but not quite there. Just maybe just 2 seconds later, and it just kind of hits his chest and fumbles onto the ground, looking like a total dork, like he was in high school.
All right. So the one that is crawling is now going to try to attack you, Frankie.
Bring it.
67 is a failure. So it's not close enough. You're kind of fumbling with it. You can feel the wind of the claw as it kind of goes on your back, but it does not hit you. Second one, also on you, Frankie. This one is a success. And I'm going to, this is a good body save to make.
Oh boy.
Or not.
What?
So
a few things.
I get 1 stress for you failing that because I'm whatever was that?
Deflated. So Frankie, you're going to up your stress by 1. A couple things are going to happen now. How many wounds do you have? You have 3 wounds, but how much health do you have?
13.
All right, 13. So you're going to
The armor box 7 before it's destroyed, though.
7.
Oh, that's true. So 19. So you end up doing 12 damage. So you're going to go. You actually don't take a wound.
Okay.
So you're going to go down to 1 health. Your armor is toast, and this thing claws at you. And what I'm imagining is it actually catches under the armor into the neck of where the armor connects. And the claws just rip down your back, and it pulls and it just tears the armor. So just the back of the armor just flies open, and it's just like shredded right on your body. But you still have your 3 wounds, so that's phenomenal. But it's your move, Frankie. You've got the gun at your foot. The grenade has been thrown. Your armor has been shredded behind you.
Yeah, I've got to grab for this gun, and do I have enough action to pick it up and
You do.
and shoot? That's what I need to do. So SMG. Oh, would I get any benefits from military training?
Yeah, should.
Oh yeah.
We were using it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got to do SMG. How do I add the military training in the when I click the SMG?
When you click on the weapon, you cannot add the skills.
Just so do this for me. Just go to your combat on your sheet and just edit the plus to the right of it to include it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's I see you. I feel you on that. So SMG and shoot.
That would have been a good one to make too. So you unload. This thing is too low for you. You're just you reach down and you pull around, and you're just spraying bullets, just as you like lift up. But now you are facing this thing as it goes. Up to you, Major.
I'm taking that wipe chatty, and the closest one I will tear him a new one.
Okay.
So I will use close quarters, I guess.
Yep, military training and close quarters both will work.
I'll show you a split face.
Yeah, close quarters is 15, so I will use that one.
And the bonus from Frankie.
Yeah, I have that one by default. So let's see. Let's do it. Did it roll? Let's try that again. Oh, it fails on rolling. So I will roll
Okay.
the 100, and my target is 45 plus 25, 70.
Oh,
So you draw the blade out. We see the as you activate it with the trigger on the handle itself, and you swipe up, and this thing just comes right by its face, and it does not hit. We go back to let's see. After you is the beast. So both of them are going to get a swipe. I'm going to have one on the major, the one that just missed you, or the one that
I
you
missed.
just missed. Yep. 67 is a failure. In all the thing, the claws are going, the blades are flying. Nobody's hitting anybody at this second. The second one is going to do an infernal scream. I need fear saves from both Frankie as well as the major.
yes.
All right, major, add a
Okay.
stress and give me a panic roll.
Come on. Yes.
So it's just its ears rattling, right? But you guys have heard this before, and it just vibrates into your jaw and into the like inner ear. You can just feel vibrating as it screams. We're at the bottom, and that's Frankie.
Yeah, I'm aiming for this guy's face.
Okay.
We got to do something here. 4 damage.
Man.
Where's my grenades? Damn it!
So you fire, and it's hitting the body of this thing, and it's just as it's going. So you are hitting it. It does do the body. Let's see if it takes any damage. It will not take any damage. So it's hitting, it's going, and it mechanically nothing happens. We cut down to the locked door. You hear kung, kung, as this beast is hitting on the door, and it appears that it's impacting the strength of the door.
That makes sense. I'm going to go on the radio. Major, we have a bit of a situation down here on level D. If you could make your way back in this direction post haste.
You got a fucking situation over here. You hear just the shots and the explosions. You maybe hear half of my ward, and he's like, "Oh, damn it, this android! I hate him."
This is the first that we're hearing about this. I turned to Arlo. It's like, it appears they may be predisposed at the moment, so we may have to take care of this ourselves.
Okay.
And as the two of them are talking, you can see in the far back corner, you can see the monitor where there's just all hell breaking loose. There's no sound. There's just the Farrell's just like going, and Frankie's throwing grenades and stuff as the Watts and Arlo in the foreground are talking.
Yeah, I love the complete difference between these two soldiers in like an organized fight actually doing work. Meanwhile, we're at the bottom here, can barely handle one.
Scrambling around, like,
Right. All right.
I'm
so
gonna
at
give
this
you
point,
the flare gun.
You're giving me the flare gun?
Yeah, why don't you take this? And
I take it and I look. Okay, it's got a trigger. Okay.
unless
All right,
you'd
I
prefer to
figured this out.
use your nail gun. But these are the two most. Actually, your stun baton actually does better than the nail gun.
Are you handing him the flare gun?
Yeah, I'll hand it to him.
All right. That's done. What else are we doing? Bang, bang. You can see that the metal is giving. You see the hinges giving on the door.
I'm gonna actually take out maybe my vibe shetty and just take position next to the door for when it comes in.
So you're gonna take the vibe shetty and kind of work your way so you'll be out of the range if the door gets blown out.
Yeah, to the side, like.
Arlo,
so
you
hopefully it'll
see
go past me.
Watts uncharacteristically drawing this blade out and running towards the danger.
Oh no, walking calmly.
Oh, okay, walking calmly.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
I didn't even know he had that. So...
It's standard equipment.
You're pretty sure that Alt Arlo used that
like-
to cut him in half.
I'm like looking at it for the switch that makes the vibrating turn on. Like, where is it? I think it's on the bottom here.
What is Arlo doing?
After figuring out how a flare gun works, he's slowly stepping back. That's it.
We cut back upstairs, but before we cut back upstairs, we see the metal door just go and just explode off of its hinges and just scrape right up to Arlo's feet. Watts is off to the side as this beast is starting to work its way through the portal of the door. We cut upstairs. Who are we on? Major?
Okay, so for sure I would like to attack with the Vibe Shetty, but can I get closer to the panel that opens the door back to the elevator shaft? Because they closed it from here, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Did they?
What you see, Major, is you're just through all of this, you're like, oh shit, we got to go, right? So you kind of quickly glance back, and all you see is the panel just completely destroyed by the grenade. So you just see the wires and the sparks.
Oh, of course it is. Okay, I will try to kill the one I missed last time.
Okay.
It's not rolling, so
Are you popped out?
No.
All right. Between turns here, do a refresh for me, okay? All right.
I rolled 62. My target was 70.
All right, so that's going to be a success. What's the damage on the Vibe
3d10 plus wounds. So
Okay. So let's do a /R 3d10. That is going to be 15 damage plus a wound. It is going to try to not get hit using its instinct, which it succeeds. So again, swiping, this thing is just, it's moving into like these jerky, just like crazy, like spider-like moves as you're just, and you're just taking the Vibe Shetty and it keeps hitting the ground and sparks are flying as it hits the ground and you just can't quite concentrate and hit on this thing. One claw on Frankie. I need a body save.
Come on.
So this thing comes up, I'm imagining you're taking your hands, ripping off this shredded armor. And as you pull back, the claw just comes by your face, but just barely misses you. The second one on the Major.
Miss.
Need a body save?
Oh, save. Come on.
Oh,
Yes.
So again, just all of this is happening in a matter of like 4 seconds, right? We just see the Vibe Shetty going, the dust settling from the grenade, swipes of these two monsters trying to claw both of you. They shredded the armor off of Frankie. The Major and both of you are just like trying to attack, trying not to get hit, and it's just absolute total chaos. We cut back to downstairs. I need a speed roll from Watson Arlo. Damn. Watts, the monster, then Arlo. You're on mute.
Muted.
Mute.
I'm gonna swing horizontally at it as it comes through the doorway to try to just hit it in the midsection.
Beautiful. Go for it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to roll for that, huh?
Freaking games with rules.
Oh, now it's not letting me roll. Let me refresh quick. I thought I had escaped that problem. Okay. Work. No, okay. I will need to do it manually.
Do the D100. What's your target?
41 is my combat.
Very nice. So 21 is going to be a hit. Before we roll damage, let's see if it can react in time. It does not. So it's, what is it, 3d10 plus a wound?
Yes.
That is going to be 11 damage. You're going to end up 2 wounds. So give me just a second. That's be 9 minus 2. That's going to put it at 13. Oh, shit. Kill it. It only had 2 wounds left because of the stun grenade. So I want to rewind just for a second. The door pops out. goes flying across onto Arlo, and this thing only sees Arlo, and it's just on its tentacle and on its leg, and just coming towards Arlo, and we see Watts do what?
Well, it's like still twitching, like jolts of electricity are still like firing. So in addition to its jittering, it's like still kind of jittery, and it like pulls itself through the door, and I'm just gonna baseball swing this Vibe Shetty like directly into its like gut. So, and I think it probably just goes like straight through, and the top just like falls off, and the bottom is kind of like propped up because of the way that its legs were situated.
And that's and what I'm imagining is almost like a cutting board into the wedge of the door jamb, right? So you cut into it,
Yeah.
and initially it kind of folds as the blade cuts it, and once it hits the resistance of the door jamb, that's when the Vibe Chetty does its work, and we just cuts through it, and we see the top of the thing fall. And as it's fall, two things happen. One, gore everywhere, splatters Watts, with just like this greenish, like smells like garlic, just gore all over you. And oddly enough, at both ends of the sides of the wounds, you see serrated teeth as it
lovely.
collapses there. Arlo.
So I'm like,
I almost fired the flare gun, even after seeing it get severed. And I eventually calmed down, and I walk up to the body, and I use the med scanner again. After seeing it regenerate a tentacle limb, I'm not so
Yeah.
sure.
probably a good idea.
And Arlo, as you start to approach it, I mean, it's still kind of like, you can see it kind of semi-crawling, but you can tell that it's the gasps, right? The end of it. And the head of the gaping head mouth, you just see it just kind of completely unfold and almost break into two pieces, completely splitting the head. You bring the scanner up, and there is no life signs.
You did it.
Good job.
Thanks. You're the one that, split him in half. So that was crazy, huh? That was.
Do you want to get a sample? Oh, I should
No,
probably
I
check
don't
on
want to touch
Major.
this, dude.
Go back to the console.
You go back to the console, and you just see absolute total chaos. Frankie has no armor on his upper torso at all. That armor is gone. You just see his kind of like wife beater that he's wearing under it as he tosses that aside. Where are we in the order? As we cut through the monitor, we cut back to the back
we're
upstairs.
We're on Frankie. Question for you, Craig. With the SMG being one-handed, would I be able to concurrently use a stim pack and shoot in the same order?
Not simultaneous, but in the same turn. Yeah, if you want to shoot and then stim pack yourself, yes.
Can I stim pack and then shoot because I'll get that advantage?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's do that. I need a stim pack because I'm at 1 health.
All right. And what does the stim pack do for those watching? It grants an immediate 2d10 to health and temporarily increases the strength in combat by 2d10 each for 1d10 turns. All right, so let's first do the restoration of health. So give me 2d10.
Okay.
Nice.
You get 11 health.
So I'm at 12 total out of 13, which is pretty
Okay.
good.
And then let's see what the boost is to your combat and your strength. It's going to be 2d10, so roll another one. We're going to add them together. All right, so increase both of those by 10 and do it on the temporary side, right, in the small circle.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see how many hours it lasts, 1d10. So,
Juiced up.
yeah. So you get juiced, Frankie. We see you pull the stim pack out of your belt and right into your forearm that's now bare because your armor is gone. And with that same hand, you've got the gun aimed at the beast. Let's go ahead and fire it.
Let's fire it. Let's do this.
You have like 80 target or something, right?
Yeah, Frankie's a combat machine now.
Advantage. I have advantage, right?
No.
Oh, is that on the old
No.
version? Was you got advantages on the stim
Yeah, you
pack?
just got the boost.
Okay.
It just boosted your stats.
Clow.
It's going
There
to
we go.
try to do a save, which it fails. That's going to be 16 damage. All right. Let me quickly go to the critical wounds and I'll tell you what to roll. Give me just 1 second. This is going to be gunshot. I need a D10 to see what wound you give it.
Please be heart attack.
An 8, a sucking chest wound. So you slam
suck.
this thing in the chest and it creates a hole. So and it kind of pulls back as it's firing, and we just see several of the bullets go through to the point where we can see a hole through the uniform, through the armor. It just completely opens up, and we see the teeth as the teeth start to close up the wound itself.
Oh shit! I see Dean's scared face on the other side.
Dean's
of that
eyes are
hole.
closed. You don't see anything. Dean's buried, just trying to bury his face into the floor. That is going to take us back to the top with the major, right? Because Frankie was last. So major.
Yes. RPG, come on, work. Doesn't work. D100. I was on 2570. Fails.
Okay, you fail with that. Let's take 2 swipes at you. First one on Frankie. It fails. Second one on the major.
Hit 65.
Oh,
That is a success. Major, I need a body save.
Oh, this one I need. 15 damage.
oh.
All right. So
Doesn't work.
how many wounds do you have?
15 minus 7 for the armor. So I
Okay.
should get.
So it's
So
going
I
to give you.
delete the armor.
Yep.
or
Delete the armor, and you're going to
unequip
take
it,
8
yeah.
wounds, or not
So
8
I'm left
wounds. You're going
with
to take 8 health.
HP. Yeah.
Yep.
Health. I'm on 7
8
left.
wounds. Well, it's been fun.
So how does this thing destroy your armor?
I think well, since it's after I swing with the machete, I just overextend with the swing and leave like my arm or my back open to it, and it just slashes me right through it. And one of the claw, maybe there's this part in the armpit that's not well armored, so it's also comfortable to wear. And maybe one of the claws gets that part, and while slashing me over that armpit chest part, it just takes the armor away and just destroys it.
I like it, Frankie.
Takes it
Your
right
your
off.
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot the same hole in this guy. I'm gonna just keep going.
Yep. Let's do it.
Bitch.
17, nice damage again.
17 damage. Let's take a look here. All right, I'm going to need another D10. That is a
that on
10
top?
on a gunshot. Oh my god.
That's usually
Headshot.
not good.
Dead. Tell me what happens, Frankie. So you boom, 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 blast it into the chest. It takes a swing at you with the claw. It misses. You see Farrell get hit.
Yeah, I think adrenaline comes over him and a bit of confidence, like being a failure and being a security guard and just kind of whatever. He's just getting pumped up. He feels like the Terminator, if that exists in his life, whatever. But he just pop, 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 pop with every bit of confidence and just shoots his head clean off.
Yeah, and the mouth is opening, right? And it's coming at you, and it's just into the soft tissue of it inside this thing's head, which is its mouth, and it's just and it's just a splattering ever, and it ends up being such force because the gun is so close that we literally see the very weak connection that's because the mouth is wide open just tear off, and the head comes down. It falls to your feet, and we just see the blood gushing out of the neck itself. Back to the top, Major. You're getting shown up here, buddy.
I'm just rolling it this time, I hope.
Yeah.
Finally. So it's 3d10, I believe.
3d10 and a wound. Oh, it's going to be 20 damage. This is a huge roll for the monster.
Please don't save.
Yeah.
Finally.
20
Tables of
damage
turn.
and a wound. So it's going to end up being 2 wounds. I need you to roll 2d10 twice, and this is going to be off the bleeding chart. No,
The
it's
one
gore
by
and
one.
massive. It's gore and massive that it rolls on. That's an 8 for the first one. Roll it again. Because you did 2 of them.
1 for the second.
Okay. So guts spool on the floor. So you hack at this, and I think it's actually 2 hacks as it comes down and it comes back up again, and it just rips open its chest. And as it rips open its chest, this is a humanoid type thing. You're expecting to see intestines pouring out. You're expecting, and all that comes out are these tendrils, and they just spill out. And as they're spilling out, they're like this, as where you've cut them, trying to reconnect as they spill forward.
I don't like that.
That's Arlo and Watts looking at what's happening on the camera.
Yeah.
Me neither. That's bad. That's very bad.
Arlo, you guys are watching TV. Arlo goes, I don't like that. We cut back upstairs as this thing takes a swing at the major. And it fails. Frankie. Bam, bam, bam. The head comes up. It's at your feet. You see the major slicing this thing. You can tell by the way it's opened up. This thing is not well.
Yeah, we're shooting again. We're just kidding.
Yep, unloading bullets. Bullets are flying. Some of them are hitting him. Some of them are not. And it's just unloaded in front of you, Major. Go ahead.
Finish them off.
Oh, yeah. This.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do its instinct roll.
Do I have to roll the 3d10?
You do. You could roll a 3.
Oh, it's still a wound.
How do you finish it off,
And-
Major?
Oh, I just get scared a little bit by the bullets from Frankie that are just passing by, I guess, not very far from my face, and I just unleash flurry of hits. I see that it's a little bit the tendrils and a little bit growing back, and I just keep hacking it like a madman. It's not precise, it's not finesse. I'm just hacking whatever is moving, and I continue until everything stops moving. Maybe a little bit too far when it's on the ground. I hack off its limbs. There's just a whole mess on the ground. I'm covered in its guts or whatever it is, and just heavy breathing.
So we see as the
think I
camera
got it.
slowly starts expanding out, right, just to take in the entire scene. And it is just this greenish goo blood everywhere. And every place where there's open wounds, we see pieces of the exploded monsters. All of them have these weird like tendons. All of them still, none of them moving whatsoever. The floor is slick and just covered in this goop as the two of you are standing there, and laying there is Dean, covered.
Yeah, I just shrug off whatever just happened and go immediately to Dean and help him out of the thing. Maybe use the vibe chatty to get it faster of him and ungag him. And
So you ungag him, and he goes, my back.
What about your back? What?
So as he says that, you look and you see that there's a huge tear down his back, and you can see a huge cut on his back, and you can see that it's bleeding. We cut down to Watson Arlo.
Major,
We're
just so you know,
staring at
we've resolved our situation down here, so there's no longer an urgency to you getting down here. Although I do still suggest you make haste.
Yeah, we will be making haste, but we need some. I don't. Do you? I guess you will not be able to see the bag from the cameras there in the room.
No, the
Like-
resolution isn't that good.
We need. I need medical assistance from you. Like Dean is hurt, probably. And I don't know what to do. I don't have any. Do you have any med kit, Mr. Bilfoy?
Just Stimpaks, that's it.
Okay, I just this is the only thing Major knows. Like doesn't have any training in field medicine. Just uses one of his stim packs and pumps Dean up. With it.
Okay. And
It's
you,
normal blood coming out of him.
yeah.
There's no teeth in the wound. Or
So go ahead and roll the stim pack for me. 2d10.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna restore 8 health to Dean. You also know enough, Major, to put pressure on this wound. So just grabbing, some of the remnants of the armor, some of the cloth that was in the inner lining of the armor, you press that against that. He is going to need some medical attention, or he will bleed out. But you have restored him and kind of brought him back up. So he's a little bit more conscious. He was kind of fading. He does cough. There is blood coming from the cough. So he is not well.
I have a medical supply kit if you can get him down here.
Okay, Dean, we need to get to our friends downstairs. It's a considerably safer place than this one. Mr. Watts, can you get this door open?
Oh, yes, I can do that.
All right, boom. We see the door open.
I imagine
you guys untie him, right?
Yeah.
So Dean is standing up. He is like almost catatonic. Hey, haunted. He's almost catatonic at this point, but just like he's just doing whatever you tell him, right? So he's like, yeah, okay. And you're holding and pressing that wound as you guys head towards the elevator.
Imagine like both of us holding him, trying to like make haste to the elevator, and I'm just like, it will be okay, Dean. We get to a safe place. It'll be okay.
I'm grabbing my old SMG back and getting our gear.
Great.
Admin duties.
Yep, and the pulse rifle as well. We smash cut to Frankie and the Major bringing Dean into the control room where Arlo and Watts are watching TV.
Guiding them via security camera. I'm going to give my med kit to Arlo, though, because biology is probably a better fit for providing medical assistance.
Yeah. Mr. Waits, Dean needs immediate attention, and we lie Dean down on, I don't know if there's a table.
You clear a table. So you clear a table, you put Dean on the table.
The chopped up remains of the doctor thing.
You tear open his shirt and you just see this gash that goes from the top of his shoulder blades all the way down to the middle of his back.
I've just administered a stim pack. I don't know what to do next. You need to help him, Mr. Waits.
Yeah, okay, all right. And I start fumbling around with my gear. And I get my med scanner out first.
Okay.
To see.
I think he might have a cut.
Yeah, thanks, Watts. And
so Major is like, so what does the scanner say? So will he be okay? Will he make it?
So you're getting a much lower heart rate. And I see, what else would the med scanner give you? I figure it would show heart rate. What else would it show? It would look for contamination, no contamination.
Specifically, Arlo is extremely hesitant to work on him because why did they keep him alive is what's in his head. And just one clean, large scar seems very peculiar in this situation.
So according to the scanner, everything looks as it appears.
Okay. Arlo takes a deep breath. And he looks to the Major, who is covered in green guts. Are you sure this is the right thing to do? I mean, why did they keep him alive?
To bait us to get there, and they wanted to get us because they know that we're on to them. We want to blow this thing up. They can pretend. We saw soldiers from Defiance. They were pretending to be humans. They were communicating. They were even shooting at us. So we don't know who they were, what is their agenda, but obviously they wanted to lure us there and just kill us on the spot. Luckily,
they were shooting at you, but
yeah,
they were shooting at you, but they wanted to lure you in.
initially they were shooting at us, but they did not succeed. Maybe they wanted to use that as some kind of a trap to get us in an enclosed area and get us off, going back here and trying to do probably. Now I'm more keen on exploding this fucking planet. I don't care anymore, to be honest. So
Yeah, so Arlo he just puts his hands up. Well, I mean, I guess time travel makes more sense than this, and he starts. I guess biology is what I should use, or I have an auto med.
Can you? What's the automed do? Can you bring it up? I'll take pills assist your body repairing the damage. They give a plus 10% body saves meds to repel
Oh,
disease or
no.
poison. Okay, that's not going to help you here.
Yeah.
Oh,
But would the med scanner give you advantage on a healing check?
guys, I just realized this. I upgraded first aid when we were in the original edition, so I actually have first
hey.
aid on me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just realized
So,
that. I was like, oh my
So
god.
my
Arlo-
hands
oh,
are
man.
up.
I
and
actually
I'm-
forgot that.
And Arlo's
Yeah.
shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frankie, he's on cloud nine with how confident he is on what happened upstairs, and he just takes off his wife beater and wipes up the blood, and he's shirtless, skinny, and not muscly at all, but just pretends like he's gangster, and he'll jump in and try to help out.
All right. So, what is your first aid skill?
It's just plus 10 skill bonus.
Okay. So, roll your intellect and add 10 to it.
That's gonna be a
might
problem.
be still less, right?
Yeah, it's still not great, but it's something.
Is there anything that could I use biology to help him?
So I'm gonna have. I mean, this is gonna take. You guys are gonna take as much time as it takes. So let's do this. It's not gonna restore any wounds or health to Dean, but it's gonna stop the bleeding. So the bleeding condition's gonna go away just because you guys aren't under fire at this point, right?
Yeah.
So Frankie's able to do the bare basics, which is to seal the wound. I'm imagining some sort of goop that he can pull from a first aid kit that kind of just closes up the wound and stops the bleeding. He is barely conscious, completely drained, and the four of you are in this control room.
Let's get him some water too.
Okay.
Well,
Okay,
uh,
we proceed with the plan. I don't see why to hesitate any further. It seems they're on us. If you can close as many doors and put them as many, but the doors are destroyed open, or they can be closed behind
Yeah,
us.
you
I'll
say
close
close the
every door.
doors. Arlo points at the one that just got blown apart.
It did take a minute though. I'll close every door behind us that isn't destroyed. But as a point of order, the scientist creature that crawled up from level E elevator. Well, actually, that was the elevator from C to D. So I don't know where she came from.
She came from the same elevator that they went up from, right? So she
Yeah.
said to you, I came up from E.
Yeah.
But now that you take a half second to think about it, that elevator didn't go to E.
Yeah, no, it didn't. Well, in any case, she said that the creatures had been spewing out of the hole in level E, so that, of course, may have been a ruse on her part, but perhaps something to consider before we go down.
So we see Watts in a slightly unnatural speed, right? It's not like he's Superman or anything, but just the way reflexively he's working the keyboards and the levers and just attacking this console is just a hair above human and a hair unnatural in the way that it works. We see him locking doors and closing doors down above him and below, turning off elevators to get from C down to D, to get from B down to C, and just locking this place the F down. As that's happening, we've got the panel of screens up above all of you, showing all the different levels. And if you remember on level E, we saw where the core, there was a camera on the core. You guys could see the whole, you could see like the control area, the controls that's shielded from the nuclear core on there. And as we see his hands going, we keep cutting up to the screens, coming down, cutting up to the screens, black, 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 black. We see screens turning off. And as we fade to black, we realize that they're all the screens on level E. We'll be back on the other side of the credits. So during the break, we were talking, and it's just like 3 or 4 rolls different, and it's possible we lose everybody. All 4 of you are dead. But it just happened to go in your favor. And there's times where I didn't think that was going to happen at all. I mean, it a little bit like Forbidden Lands, right? It's just you're a roll away from being toast. And we saw it with the monster because the one crit on it taking a wound killed it. You rolled the 9 on the crit, and it's just like, head wound, you're dead. I don't care how many wounds or things. And I like that. I like that because it fits the game, right? It fits what this game is. That wouldn't work in every other game. So, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different here in the post credit. I want to try something. My good friend Sean over at Gaming and BS has been talking about this, and I did a little bit of digging on it as well, and went over and checked out the Gauntlet. And it's this idea of stars and wishes. And it's something that the guys at the Gauntlet came up with. God, 5-6 years now, but it's kind of spread way beyond the Gauntlet. And the idea is at the end of each RPG session, you do 2 things. One, each player gets to assign a quote unquote star to another player. So a player says, this was the star, and this was the moment, and this is, this was the star I'm giving, you, and we're going to talk through that. And then the wishes part is, I think, really, really neat. So let's first do the stars, and I'm going to start with you, Arlo. So who gets the star and why?
I gotta give it to Nick this time because I think the sequence of the extreme combat and doing so many kick-ass things, and then coming down and being like, you know what, I did all that. I'm this badass. I'm going to repair Dean, and then failing that spectacularly. I thought was perfect. I loved it. Like there's
Really
nothing I
coming
can
into
do
his
that's
own.
wrong. Oh shit! This is an actual human.
Yeah.
Can I just shoot him?
Right. His skills are entirely unrelated.
All
Grenade
right.
pin out, going, oh no, okay, shit.
Right.
Other end, Frankie. All right, Nick, who's your star and why, and for what?
Star. DZ's character being able to finally get a shot off was pretty fantastic. Like that was something we've been waiting on to happen. It was harpoon gun miss, retract, harpoon gun miss, retract, and then revolver shoot success. Yay!
3
Like
damage.
that was awesome.
And then just cutting things in half. And what I think is really fun on a very meta level is that we have this storyline that's happened in some reality somewhere where Arlo cuts Watts in half, and now we see Watts cutting this beast in half with the Vibechetti.
Right.
So, all right, DZ, who gets your star and for what?
Oh, probably Arlo, just because I enjoy our interactions so much.
But I need it for something specific. What was something that you saw Kyle do? Because I mean, this is not for Arlo; it's for Kyle.
Okay. Well, it's the way that he's interacting with the scientist before she starts splitting, and like, okay, we're talking to her while they're fighting upstairs, or like while they're getting into a fight upstairs, asking her questions, and then you scan her, and like as soon as her head splits open, your reaction isn't to get the hell out of there. It's to to hit her with a stun baton because combat's been going so well for us.
I almost see it as like this just reflex from Arlo of just like, oh okay.
Yeah. But then the next stun baton hit actually is a really good one and hits her a wound down, which gives us both the opportunity to set up for the coup de grace and within range of being killed by the Vibechetti.
And the stun effect as well.
Stun effect was big too.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
That let us get set up. So
Vaslev, who gets the star and for what?
Oh, that goes for Nick because I love the elevator scene. Like he started to negotiate, and there was this moment when Nick was and I totally left him hanging to sort it out himself. He started the discussion. You're gonna finish it, and it was great. I loved it. The sequence made sense, and that was a great moment. So.
So wishes. So the wishes piece is where the players get to talk about what they wish for next session. And this is not, I wish that we survive or anything like that. It's almost at a meta level where they, kind of say, I want to see this, or I want to learn this, or I'm hoping to find out more about this, or I'm hoping this happens. And really what it ultimately does is it informs the other players of what we're going to start with you, Kyle, what Kyle would make Kyle the player happier and enjoy the game even more. So the players get to learn that, and more importantly, I do as well. So for you, Kyle, as a player, what do you wish for the next session?
I think what I wish for is something that I don't know if the next session will realistically be able to provide.
That's fine.
Because I feel like the next session, and I could be imagining it, but it's like a race to the core, right? That's kind of what I'm imagining. Would blow the planet up, get off the planet. But really, as a player and as Arlo, I want to know about the time shenanigans. I want to know why Brett was around when that doesn't make any sense. I want to know about the journal I've got that was written by Arlo too. I want answers,
Yeah.
and I don't want this planet to go away.
How about for you, Vaslav? What is you the player's wishes?
So my race to the core was the first thinking, but when I thought of it a bit deeper, what would be interesting to me would be some moral dilemma, or how they call it, the trolley problem, right? You have to pick from lesser of two evils. And since we have the time shenanigans in there, could be something there. It could be an obstacle that we just, you don't have a good solution to it that saves everyone and everybody is happy and we get home and drink beer. So some moral dilemma would be interesting to me.
How about for you, DZ?
And I agree with both of those, the race and the moral dilemma. But something I like building off of this session, even though it was most of this session was two combats.
Yeah, it was action.
Still,
Yeah.
we still got an answer to a question that's been bugging me for a while, and I really like that. And getting like one answer to a remaining question per episode until we wrap things up is a great speed, I think. And the question was, it was, do the monsters act like humans, or can they act like humans and pretend to be humans before they turn into monsters? And we got a definitive answer on that, which has been eating at the back of my head. But
The back of your head, huh?
yeah,
So
a splitting headache over it.
Right.
there's a couple things that I think that are interesting about that too, because I try to step back, right, and think, what information have I given? And there's all kinds of possibilities, right? So the possibility is, one is that these things are never human, that's these monsters are able to mimic, right? Another possibility is, okay, these things are infecting humans, right? And turning humans into these things. The other thing that's interesting, if that's true, getting to what you're talking about, DZ, is how does that happen, right? So are they mimicking human, or did we see them go from human to beast?
That's like you can see the influence of the thing in this, and like that's a really interesting fan question of the thing that's never been resolved. It's like, when the thing is imitating a person, does the person know that it's a thing, or is it just activated?
Yeah.
And do they think they're human right up until the last second? And I don't know if we're going to get a straight answer on that, but I would love to get. I don't know how you possibly could get a straight answer on that, but but like as far as the remaining mysteries, go ahead.
It's the fighting the unknown that makes it exciting, right? It's not like shoot him up, that he's a villain, I shoot him in the face. But what are these? What can they do? How dangerous they are? Can they just one shot us? Obviously they could if the roles were different. But there's this tension still. So that's what I like when you're fighting the unknown.
So we still haven't heard. So you've told us what you like, DZ. What are you wishing for?
I'm wishing for like another like big answer to one of like the big questions that we've been having over the last couple sessions. Like, is there really time dilation going on, or is it like illusions from something in the air in here, or is it some kind of paranormal thing having to do with the symbol, or what exactly is going on with some of the things that don't make sense. I want one thing to click. How about that?
Yeah. All right, Nick.
Yeah, my wish would be answers, and we're going at a decent pace. Not that I'm wanting more answers, but that's what I'm wishing for, is just continuous, closing these big things that we had looming over us. What are these time slips? What are these pictures of myself from another person and whatnot? and I wish to find something that I can use that will light these things on fire, because I want to expose and utilize their weakness. Like I want to, hoping to find like a flamethrower or some sort of incendiary thing, or maybe a gas line. I want to try to jump into that realm and try to get a leg up on these things. So
Very, very cool. All right. You guys know the routine. Like, subscribe, listen to Tabletop Talk, the podcast. This is episode 10, so you've heard me plug that a million times. And for those of you watching the recordings of this, you've watched 10 of these now. And I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate that and how much fun we're having. And part of the fun we're having is hearing from you afterwards. So the comments you're leaving on the videos in the Patreon Discord on Third Floor Wars, all of that's fuel. And we share them when we find them with each other. And it makes... We're having fun if nobody was watching, but it's really neat to see other people digesting this as well. So I really appreciate everybody doing that, and we'll talk to you later.